Wieners Incorporated. You want to do Wieners Incorporated?
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
We can start with like a phone.
We can improvise. Yeah. Just
I have a phone ringtone clip on my computer.
I need to pour another drink.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's Coke.
You're gonna kill you. That was half Coke. I saw how much Jameson you put in there.
John, that was mostly Coke.
2 vodka martinis.
All right, welcome back to a. I got it. Let me do the intro. The intro.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to Diversely Specific, an ugly postcads. Woo! Let me say words. Let them come out my mouth.
That's our intro right there. That's it.
Welcome to Diversely Specific, an ugly podcast with beautiful people hosting it. It's Omar and John.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Oh yeah,
Shoot it.
100%.
Throwing it out.
Beautiful people. Except
Beautiful's like an.
according to my mother.
Wow.
But yes,
That's rough.
it is rough. But you learn to live with it. Can't please everyone, Omar.
Yeah. I feel like the moment you realize you're ugly or not attractive, that's when you start living.
Yeah, once you hit rock bottom, you got nowhere to go but up.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
And rock bottom was when you realize no one likes the way you look.
Really?
I'd say so. I mean,
What if you don't like the way you look? Isn't that worse than
most
other
people don't. I'd say I want to say yeah, that's definitely worse, but most people don't, you know. But I feel like, for example, you and me, objectively speaking, we're both gorgeous, but in our heads, we could do so much better, right?
Sure.
So that's the difference. That, like, you know, deep down we know we're not the ugliest motherfuckers on the planet.
They're worse guys. They're guys who are not doing too
but
hot.
we also are critical of ourselves, you know. So that I think that's the difference. Now, when you get to the point where you're thinking, I should literally kill myself, my face makes people want to leave the room.
Shit.
Maybe that's worse.
You think
You
like
gotta have some. You have to have at least a little bit of confidence.
And
You know?
some motherfuckers like Guy Fieri are looking in the mirror and they're thinking like, oh fuck, I need to fix myself.
You said Guy Fieri?
Yeah. Like Guy
There's
Fieri.
no way that man has spent a single moment thinking that he was not the most beautiful person on planet Earth.
See, no, but he's a TV personality, you know? So that's what you think.
You literally cannot do better than his hair. You can't beat it.
When the camera's off and the lights are off, he's looking in the mirror and he's like, fuck, what am I doing?
If you try to wear a shirt like his shirt and you're not Guy Fieri, you literally spontaneously combust.
Those are one of my grails, by the way. Referring back to episode 11, I did pick up a martini shirt and it's fucking, it's
all right.
fuego.
It's not bad.
So good.
I was expecting better.
I was expecting more martinis and like a darker, like
I was
a
just
black
expecting
shirt.
like a simple background with just martinis on it,
I was too. But I enjoy the martini shirt that I have. For those people who can't see it, obviously, because unlucky, you don't know me in life, real life, you've never seen it.
Hey, who knows? Maybe we'll snap a quick pic and we'll throw it on the video for the YouTubers.
It's like a little Picasso-looking shirt. It's got some abstract squares around. It's in blue tones.
It looks like
colors.
Bathroom tile with martini graphics spread across.
Adding on to that, it looks like 90s bathroom tile. It doesn't look like any type of bathroom tile.
It's almost tasteful.
Very dated. Very dated.
Yeah. But that's your style.
It's
and you pull
just
it off.
enough. Yeah, it's just enough. But it's a beautiful shirt. I love it. The cut, it's a little. It doesn't. It's not like it's too small. It's just it's a little short.
I didn't
for
notice.
Shirts that I have. I think it's a little short for shirts that I wear personally.
One of the shirts I got at the thrift store the other day is a little short, but I just have to make sure not to like raise my hands.
Was
quickly.
that your first time at the thrift store? Like actually?
No,
I've been.
That was my first time buying there at that one. Yeah, at Plato's Closet. That was my first time buying shit there.
Say it one more time.
But I've been there. Okay, Omar. Fuck you.
It's Plato's.
Is it?
Plaza, yeah.
Is it? I don't know, Omar. Because I'm a college man, right? And I've heard his name. I've heard his name a couple of times. Okay, Google. What is Plato's name pronounced like?
You just pronounced it Plato.
How to pronounce Plato? Here we go.
Names.com.
Pronounce names.com.
Plato.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck off, dude.
Unlucky.
It's a
Oh,
YouTube video.
that's a
There's no credibility.
How many subscribers does that channel have?
I already closed it. It's YouTube.
That's
you can't.
really tragic, John, because whew. I was honestly a little worried, but I knew, I took ancient art studies
Did you?
my first semester, and it was really good.
I don't know if it's because I'm just so fucking embarrassed from that or not, but it's kind of hot in here.
Yeah, it's a little warm.
Kind of toasty.
Just take your skin off.
Yeah.
Take your skin off.
Okay. Grab my blade.
Oh, yeah, Plato's closet is kind of nice.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. I mean, the men's section is minuscule.
The men's section is actually fucking hilarious.
It is tiny. But I have found more shirts there in one trip than I have at any other thrift store ever in my life.
Because
combined.
It's curated. For the people who don't know what Plato's Closet is, it's a curated thrift store. People can sell their clothes there, and when it comes to selling your clothes, they're very particular on what they buy.
It has to be modern. It has to be something that
it has to be in trend.
It has to be hip.
It has to be in trend.
It has to be HIP hip.
In the current season. So you can't sell something that's trendy for winter when it's summertime, Yeah. That's why I have some clothes that I want to sell to them, but they're winter clothes. They're like jackets. But I've sold
the
to
thing
them
is
before.
for me, especially my style is generally, if it's not a t-shirt, then it's going to be like a short sleeve or a long sleeve button down. The problem with that is I'm a tall but skinny individual to the extent where it's difficult to fit those types of shirts, right? They're either baggy or just short.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. It's very rare where Forever 21 and Penguin, those are the two brands that are fairly close to my body style.
I see. Yeah, that's fair.
And one of the shirts I got there was Penguin. One of them was Forever 21. And then the other one was a brand. Actually, the one that fits the best is a brand I'd never even heard of. So I'm going to look into that.
Yeah.
But they fit well, which was surprising.
I bought a really good black shirt, just a plain black shirt from Plato's Closet by a brand called Stanford or Stafford, one of those two. But it's the best black shirt I have, and I only use it when I'm going out or something. A nice.
Are there? Setting. If you had to choose a designer shirt that was just a button down dress shirt, what fits you best?
What
I feel
brand?
like you have more options.
What brand?
Yeah.
I'd say Versace.
Really?
Nah,
And okay. I'm not. When I say designer, I don't mean it has to be one of the top fucking 5.
Okay,
but,
no,
for me, Michael Kors fits me perfectly.
I have Michael Kors jeans. They're nice. They're good.
I don't know anything about
jeans.
Anything other than their shirts. Their shirts fit well. They're cheapish compared, relatively speaking. Yeah.
In terms of designers, they're probably the lower end designers, but they're still nice.
Yeah,
it's good quality.
Yeah, Saks Off Fifth has a whole Michael Kors section. I go there for shirts frequently. Yeah, it just took a while to really find my niche when it came to shirts that fit properly.
No, I feel you.
I'm so elongated.
I need to find a good tailor, I need to find.
I'm telling you, apparently Pepe is really good.
Solid. Oh, Pepe and Palm Desert?
Yeah.
I saw reviews on him, but I haven't gone. I need to actually just go to a tailor and he can just set my shit up and I will get that. That separates people who are into fashion as a hobby and who are just just all around.
I don't know. I think
well-rounded.
I think anyone would go to a tailor as long as they have the funds and the knowledge of it.
No, a lot of people have the funds. They just don't have the knowledge.
It can be $10-15 per clothing item. That gets pricey.
If you think about it, say for example, these jeans I bought, they were
$3
for free. Yeah. Okay, for free, by the way.
Yeah.
So I went to an Angel View, a regular run-of-the-mill donation center thrift store, and I found these Levi jeans, a light wash, perfect for the summer. I'm gonna pick these bad boys up. They fit me, but they're a little loose, so I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. They're Levi's, classic Levi's. You can't pass up on it, and it was $3. As soon as I leave, when I get home and try them on, I check the pockets. There's a fucking $5 bill.
Oh yeah, that's
There's
right.
a $5 bill in the pants. They paid me $2 to buy the pants.
Yeah, that's the second time I've heard something like that.
That's fucking insane. That was the same day I found the Martini shirt, by the way. I had a really good workout. You were there. We went to the gym. Yeah. We had a solid workout. When you left a bit early because I wanted to go into the sauna.
Yeah, I had my phone.
And then I was just we were going to go thrift shopping later that day with some friends. So I was just let me just start off my little adventure early because there's a thrift store right in front of the gym. So I go into there literally not expecting anything, but I know that the things I'm looking for are a martini shirt, a yellow shirt in particular, like Hawaiian style shirt.
I couldn't do yellow. I can do like yellowish brown.
No,
like
that's the thing.
sand
I'm not
color,
I'm not looking for just any yellow shirt. Like all of my Hawaiian shirts or just like floral shirts, pattern shirts, they're very curated. If you look in my closet, they're very well organized, and all of them I would wear at any time.
I think yellow is a good accent color. Like some of my favorite socks are yellow, but I'd probably never wear like a bright yellow shirt.
I wouldn't either. I don't think neon colors suit many people. I don't think it looks good. But my thought process is if I'm not
turquoise is pretty solid.
Turquoise isn't bad, but if I look through my closet, I'm going to look at all of my clothing pieces. If I wouldn't wear them, I wouldn't have them in my closet. There's no point. I don't see a point if I can't wear them, like just pick them off the rack and wear them.
Yeah.
So there's no point in me buying. So that goes into the criteria of me buying clothes. If I'm going to buy it, I need to wear it. I need to be able to wear it whenever, like literally at the moment. Obviously, I have to take into consideration the setting and the people and what I'm doing. But if all of those are taken into consideration, I need to be able to just wear whenever. I can't feel shitty in it. Like it can't not fit right.
Yeah, exactly.
All of those things, just like I said in the previous episode with like the criteria of my Hawaiian shirt. So when I went in there and I found that really nice martini shirt, obviously it wasn't the one I wanted, but like the one I had in my head, I should say, like a black shirt with martini glasses on it, you know, like with like red accents or whatever, or with like the olives. Like
I was thinking more of a red background with like just clear martini glasses with.
I was thinking like black with like
green
red,
olives,
2 big red fucking stripes down the middle,
like a bowling shirt almost.
Like sort of like a bowling shirt, but like a cross bowling shirt Hawaiian shirt hybrid.
Yeah,
those are sick. I don't think I can pull off bowling shirts because I don't play bowling, but also I've never been to Hawaii, so I wouldn't be qualified to wear Hawaiian shirts either. But
I don't think that's how that works. Sure.
I don't know. Anyway,
speaking of having a good workout, I think today was fucking solid.
Yeah.
I left the gym feeling great.
Really fucking solid workout. I thought that when we started with deadlifts, that was the 100%. Fucking...
And I feel like I'm back up to speed, too, because like we took that fatty break, and then now I'm feeling... I went down in weight for a couple of our workouts, and I think next time we go, I'm going to be back up to speed, you know? Yeah. Which is great. Like, when we were at the gym today, even though I felt good leaving, I still... Like, everything was easy, you know? I was just... I didn't feel... Except at the very end, of course, like, some of the... I'm starting to get tired, but I felt... like I can move back up to my old standard.
When I was doing my session after
I don't know where the fuck... How did that even happen? I did not say the Google command.
Big brother.
Yeah.
When I was doing my session with my kid after the workout, like I felt sore, but in a good way. You know, like when you have a good solid workout, you feel strong, but you also feel weak at the same time. It's hard to explain. Like you don't feel like you can work out at that moment, but you feel set up for tomorrow or the next day. You know,
it's kind of like when say you're going to reach for something on the top of your shelf and your arm is slightly sore, but it feels good to stretch it almost.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely agree. It sucks dick when you take a break, like a break from the gym.
First time we went back, I died.
Yeah.
I'm technically a ghost right now.
No, not even going back to the gym, but just the days leading up to going to
the
gym.
After like a week, I could actually feel myself shrinking. It was painful, physically painful. I could feel my muscles
like
constricting.
Mentally, you feel fucking. It really takes a fucking toll on you because put so much work going to the gym.
It's not even that. I understand that. For me, it's more so like it's not the fact that I'm losing out on the work that I previously did. It's more so that I'm not putting in the work right now. That's what killed me, at least.
I suppose because, you know, you're relatively new to the gym. I've been going to the gym for like 3 or 4 years. Speaking to somebody who's been bodybuilding for their whole life, that's nothing. But with you, the progress that you made, those are what people call in the gym world like beginner gains.
Yeah, I know that, but I really don't care at any given time. I don't care how strong I am. I care about how I feel.
That's what I'm saying. So like sorry to cut you off, but those beginner gains, it sets you up to basically, so you have the bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your baseline.
Mm-hmm.
Your baseline is now brought up. Like your whole baseline moves up
Mhm.
once you get to those beginner gains. Like once you've established those beginner gains. So all of the we worked out, I'd say consistently for like
Yeah,
a
pretty
month,
much.
like a month and a half.
We only ever missed like maybe 2 or 3 on time.
Yeah. And we were in relatively good shape, but that month and a half for you, that was your beginner gains and it moved your baseline.
Oh yeah,
up.
100%. Like I definitely started hitting a plateau. Not in the point where I was still lifting like very little, but to the point where progress was slowing, at least slightly. But
Yeah.
my point was, it wasn't the entire time that we took this like month-long break. I wasn't so much worried about losing the progress I had made. I was more so worried about like I'm not going to the gym right now. I don't feel as good as I did a month ago. That's what killed me. I really could care less about how much I can actually lift once I get there. I care more about the benefits of going, which are feeling better, having more energy. Also just the discipline involved is really good.
Just being on a routine.
Yeah, exactly.
Being on a routine feels really good.
Because at the time I also was not working. I just finished school.
Yeah.
You know, like I had nothing. All I was just going out and drinking every day, all day, and I had nothing, no health whatsoever going on.
It's funny whenever I don't have anything going on, like no school, no work,
Go to the
nothing.
gym.
That's when I'm in the best shape of my life. Like because I've got nothing else to do, so naturally my brain is thinking like I need to do something. So build your body, which honestly isn't a bad thing. It's just I need to balance all the things. That's really all life is just finding like a balance between everything.
I could probably do the same, but I rely on you in order to go to the gym. So,
which honestly,
The guest
not saying
membership.
that I don't mind that you're like my guest for the gym. I just feel like you should get your own membership so it'll
of course I will
force
once it
you
becomes
to go to the gym.
once it becomes mandatory. Of course I will.
See, no, but that thought process, like, oh, once it's
Omar, I
needed, I'll
literally
do it.
never skip ever. The only time I skipped was when you stopped taking.
No, that's
me.
what I'm saying. So if you make it to where you're the only factor that's like, okay, if I don't go to the gym, it's my fault.
$10
If you make
a
it on yourself, then it'll be better for you then, no?
Sure, but I don't know. $10 a month it doesn't seem like a lot, but that shit adds up, you know. And I don't want to spend that when I don't have to.
No, it definitely does.
And I
understand.
knew after this little month of your little cheating escapade, I knew that was going to wear off eventually. So I just weathered it out, and here we are going back.
Yeah. We're gonna go back. We should go again tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be in town.
Oh, you're gonna go out?
Well, I'm going to Palm Springs.
Well, I'm
so,
probably gonna go out. I'm probably gonna go again tomorrow.
What, to do cardio?
No, I kind of want to do just different like muscle groups. So, or I wouldn't say muscle groups. I'd be working at the same muscles, just different.
Excuse me.
It's okay. Different workouts, I guess. So you know, generally when we go,
do, like, dumbbells and
we
shit?
do full body. It's just full body workouts. It's bench press, deadlift, overhead press. Like occasionally, like we stretch in the beginning, and then we do like I do personally body weight squats, but I want to start incorporating weighted squats. That's just not my thing though. I'm lower heavy as well. Like my legs are quite big already. I don't feel like I need to get any bigger as far as like my legs and quads. Yeah, I could tone them, but
depending on how you do your deadlifts, you hit your legs.
Yeah, you do. But
so.
it's not perfect.
Yeah,
if we were to incorporate squats with everything that we do, that would be targeting literally everything.
Yeah.
That'd
we
be ideal.
really don't do anything that's like lower body.
That would be
But
ideal if we could do all four of those.
It's not terrible because we're not fucking bodybuilding. We're not like
no, technically it is bodybuilding. It's just not. It's amateur bodybuilding
in the sense where we're not like building a ton of mass, you know. So the fact that we're not exclusively targeting legs at any point, we're not going to end up with like chicken leg syndrome where our top half is massive and our
just
legs
like
are
with those
small,
people that think like, oh, I don't want to work out or I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to be huge.
Like you always hear
dude,
that
you're
whole
not
don't
gonna be
skip
huge.
leg day thing, and that's because people care more about how their biceps look than their legs, right? But we're not exploding in size, so it's a non-issue.
But I mean,
I don't think we have to do squats. It's
like,
just if you want to, I guess.
Generally, socially speaking, most guys just kind of work on their upper body.
Yeah, but that's becoming less of a accepted thing. If it's
guess,
like
yeah.
if it's easily like if you can look at someone and easily tell, oh, they've literally never worked out legs. Like I've met a couple people that were like that, and it is kind of like shocking how thin their fucking thighs are compared to their
Not,
like.
I don't
upper
think the
body.
thighs are where it's at. I think it's their fucking actual like lower
Hips?
legs. No,
Oh,
the lower
shins?
legs. Below,
No.
yeah, below
Okay.
the knee, the shins.
Okay, here's the thing though. Like if you're wearing like shorts or something, there's the you can't tell, right? Because you have the shorts covering the transition. Like the thighs are the transition from like
yeah, but it
waist
just
to
what
legs.
I'm saying is that emphasizes it, like because the shorts kind of
I guess, yeah.
in a way emphasize.
But people
how,
look past it. Is my point. You look
Yeah.
past it if there's clothing there. Now, if they were wearing a speedo and their legs were just as thin as their shins, and I know two people
like
specifically.
their
I can
thighs
think
are
of.
just as thin as their shins.
Yeah, what did I say?
Yeah, you said legs.
Yeah, sorry, their thighs.
Okay.
Their thighs are, it's just like straight fucking. They've got massive torsos. Like clearly, they go to the
Yeah.
gym and they work
Like
out.
Dorito shaped.
Yeah, and then the second you hit lower half of the body, it's just like untouched, and that is.
It's
where
like
that
it goes
stigma
from
comes
Doritos to pretzels.
Yeah.
Like pretzel sticks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I know two people. Or I used to. I don't.
Yeah,
really
say
know
their
them anymore,
names.
but I don't even remember one of their names. I remember the other name. I'm not gonna say it. I don't even know. I don't see either of them ever anymore. But that's where the stigma comes from. But we're not like that, and I don't think we will ever get like that unless we want to.
We're not taking working out realistically serious because first of all, look at what we're doing right now. We're drinking.
Yeah. Well, I say
People
we
who
take
actually work out for real.
we take the working out portion seriously, but we don't take the diet.
I wouldn't even
I don't,
say-
at least. I don't give a fuck.
I don't take the working out portion as seriously as
Not
I
anymore.
could.
Yeah,
is
you
what I mean.
definitely. You've definitely started slacking
Because-
off, and I think it's just because
I'm
not the best motivator in the world.
I'm fucking trolling. No, it's
we
not
used to
even,
have our boy with us, and he would just give you shit
Yeah, no.
perpetually.
Even when he gave
You've
me
gone
shit,
down
I
in
wouldn't
weight
care.
with everything.
Realistically, whenever I go with girls, that's when I try the hardest.
I'll put my
just
skirt
some-
on next
Yeah,
time.
it's just some stupid fucking like machismo primal shit where it's like I have to impress the girl no matter what, even if they're just platonic friends.
Even
it
if
doesn't
you
matter.
like rip your fucking bicep doing
No, even
too
if
many
I
things.
literally will get like lordosis, like some type of like scoliosis from
you're
doing whatever I'm
making
doing.
up diseases
But
now for
lordosis
how
is
hard you're
real.
working.
Yeah.
I've actually never heard of it.
It's like a form of like scoliosis, like some type of spinal
Okay, yeah.
like problem. But I'm willing to injure myself. But that's not even my thought process. When I'm working out, if I'm with a girl,
You
even
just
if she's
finish
platonic,
the reps.
even if
Finish
she's
the
platonic,
reps.
I need to look as strong as possible. It's literally the most primal thing ever. Because if you think about it, back in the fucking days when there were cavemen, the alpha male, the caveman, would do the
You're
dumbest
regressing.
shit. He's like, okay, I'm gonna kill this fucking mammoth who's 500 times bigger than me. I'm gonna kill it and provide for the whole village.
You're saying that's dumb? That is okay.
That's heroic.
To us, that might seem dumb because we just can't fucking do it unless we got like a goddamn rifle, or a harpoon. I want to learn how to shoot harpoons. By the way, conversation for another time.
Yeah. Harpoons.
But yeah, I was like shark
Uh-huh.
harpoons
You
specifically.
want to harpoon sharks?
I want to go shark caging eventually.
Jesus.
You take harpoons for that. Anyways,
Yeah, okay.
at the time that was functional. That's how they fed their fucking village.
Yeah.
And it was necessary.
It served a purpose.
It was almost necessary. Like if it wasn't bison, it was like larger predators. But no, I'm actually not the same way. I'm really good at playing off my incredibly apparent weaknesses, one of which up until very recently was my physique.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not so much I don't really care about how my physical aptitude is perceived. I don't think I'd have that issue personally.
I don't necessarily care either. I just don't want to be, perceived as weak or.
Now, if said woman is now outlifting me, then things might be slightly
Yeah.
embarrassing.
No, okay. I don't care about if. I will admit it right now. I went to the gym with a girl and she outlifted me.
Yeah.
True, it was in a lift that I don't necessarily do. It was squats.
Mhm.
Obviously, I don't fucking do squats, so
Mhm.
she's going to do more than me. But
Squats are easy though.
I guess, but if you think of it from a perspective of a person who does squats for months on end and a
Sure,
person who
yeah,
just starts
okay.
doing squats, there's a difference. There's going to be a difference. So I don't necessarily care if somebody can outlift me. These are the three factors I always consider whenever I'm doing workouts. Is the reason why I'm working out is primarily because I don't want people to perceive me as weak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to perceive me as useless, which I guess kind of piggybacks off.
They
of being
don't
weak.
go hand in hand, no. But let me interrupt just slightly. I should restate what I meant to say earlier.
Sure.
It's not so much like if a girl ever outlifts me. It's if it's someone that I know does not go to the gym nearly as
And they're
often. Like
performing
I know
better than you.
I know plenty of women that go to the gym way more often and have been going way longer than myself, and I would not feel self-conscious at all if we went together and they started doubling my fucking weight. Like I would understand that.
Mhm.
It's like when we started bringing our buddy, for example, he just fucking shot through the weights, and I was like, okay, I guess I got to start trying now.
Yeah.
So, and that was nice. It's a good, although competition kind of breeds animosity, at the same time, it also breeds progress.
Competition's healthy, I think.
So, absolutely.
It's crucial for growth, I think. Competition.
I don't think it's crucial, but it definitely helps. I think
Life's always a competition.
you should always attempt to grow for your own sake, not
if you
because
think
of
about
others,
it,
but
Yeah, if you don't think about it as like I guess in a way where it's, I don't know how to explain it. Like you don't look at it personally, and you're not just malicious towards somebody. You just compete with them for the sport of competing. You just want to better yourself.
Yeah.
I think that it's good. I think competition is important. You want to surround yourself with people who are doing well.
yeah.
So you can do well yourself,
Yeah, I'm actually incredibly competitive, but I don't like that about myself. I actually don't.
Really?
I think it stems from almost a sense of ego, and ego's my least favorite characteristic.
Yeah, ego sucks.
Ego is by far, like, I don't care if you are a downright psychopath. I would prefer that to someone who is just pure ego. I think that is like the definition of evil.
I can be very egotistical, but it's like all jokes. I'm not necessarily
Sure.
actually.
No, that's fine. And most people can differentiate between the two. Most people can
I
see
mean,
like
sometimes I can have difficulties showing that like jokingness about it with different people, like new people, I guess.
Yeah.
But in general,
I think you're very humble around people you're not comfortable with, I'd say.
Really?
Now, and the people you are comfortable with, I think you do, and I do think you do have a slight ego, as do most people. I think you're more willing to show that ego to the people you're comfortable with.
Oh yeah, because why hide it? If I have it, then
because ego's a bad thing. But anyways,
I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with you, but it just depends on the situation.
Ego is when you take your pride so far that you're unwilling to listen to outside information.
That's the thing. Like,
so for example, take in, like, I think the easiest way to relate this to you would be like League of Legends, the video game. Say a play goes bad. There was two people involved. Both made mistakes. There's always there's always something that one of them could have done better, right?
Yeah.
But say those two people are you, and just in your head think of someone that is significantly worse than you at that game.
Okay.
Now, you are the two people involved. You both made mistakes. Of course, this other person probably made more mistakes, but in your head, you played it perfectly. And you were in, say that person, the person who's worse than you, they brought up something that you did that was a mistake. And even though it was a mistake, you won't take that information seriously because of the person who told you about it.
Like level.
Yeah, exactly.
They're significantly lower
so
than
that in my opinion, that is a very like that's like that's your ego right there.
That makes sense on why that's bad, because I'm not growing at all, because I'm not looking at any. I'm automatically assuming that this person knows less than me because they're lower than me. Terms of rank.
No, I'm saying that's a given. This person is objectively worse than you and knows less than you, and is just a worse player in all senses. But you still, even though they gave you a valid explanation of what you did poorly,
I just
you
completely dismiss it because I'm like higher level.
And yes, it's bad because it stunts your growth, but it's also bad because it now in your head you are superior.
The person.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
I'm devaluing other people.
That's why I think ego is bad.
Okay, so I would agree with you on how I would probably do that back in the day. I would say maybe like 2 years ago when I was at my peak of League of Legends, like in terms of skill and knowledge of the game, I would definitely agree with you. I would probably do that. And it's kind of cynical in the way that, like, even if I knew I made the error, I would still put the blame on somebody else because
they did so much more.
They
wrong.
did so much more wrong, and they wouldn't question me,
Yeah.
you know, just because I'm higher.
It's kind of a I'm sorry to interrupt again, but it's
No,
kind of a
it's fine.
catch-22 because the players that do progress are the ones that realize their mistakes, right?
Of course, yeah.
The players that are stuck at the lowest tier of play, those are the ones that are just completely delusional to their own mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of ironic that we're talking about this because I'm bringing up instances where you do the thing that they do, but at a different level, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally understand. And I'd say recently, I know you're trying to make like a comparison to something, but like recently, in terms of League of Legends, when I play, I've been blaming myself like a lot. Like I would straight up say if I just fuck up or we lose, I would just say if I played better, we would have won. You know, which I guess could still be seen as egotistical in a way because it's assuming the sense that if I played better, then I was the reason we lost because I wasn't playing well. If I played well, no matter what, we would have won.
Yeah.
You know, that's egotistical.
Well, no, okay, no, I disagree. See, maybe in other instances or in a different context, that thought process may be egotistical, but I don't think so with League of Legends because that's just how the game is set up. The best players are the ones that dictate the game. The best and the worst players, I should say.
Yeah.
So, and of all of the people that we know in real life that we play with, granted, you are the better player out of all of us. Like, no one has played at the same level that you have. Statistically speaking, if you're taking only rank into account, you are by far the best player. No one's even come close. So, yes, it's true. Like, it's almost like common knowledge that in League of Legends, in any given game, the best and the worst players dictate the outcome of the game. So, you thinking that, I don't think it's egotistical. I think it's just sort of been bred into all the player base.
But if you think about it, why is it that the worst player plays so much of a factor?
The balance of the game. So the way the game works, it's meta dependent, obviously, but it's all numbers. So if you have one person who is perpetually throughout the entire game giving the enemy team an advantage, that advantage being gold, experience, map pressure, vision control, this person stunting their own team in all those same aspects, not gaining any gold for the team, not garnering any additional experience, losing map control, losing vision control, all of that stuff. That can severely dictate, depending on the composition. There's too many variables to like really get specific with it, but you know, I mean, you know more than I do about this shit. Like, you should be able to intuit. That's what
I'm saying is, like, say for example, each team has a bad player, right? If I lose the game, that means that I didn't capitalize on their bad player hard enough, or as hard as their good player capitalized on my bad player. That's my thought process when I lose a game.
Sure. I don't think it's that cut and dry, though.
It can be. Sometimes it can be.
I don't think, because there's, like I said, there's too many variables. It's never going to be that exact thing every time.
I know.
There's going to be points where their worst player is a fucking support playing, I don't know, Jin Zhao support. Like, they're going to be a non sequitur regardless. You don't need to fucking bother with that. Whereas maybe their best player is playing a hyper carry in a completely different part of the map, and you want to focus more about keeping them behind. It's never a static game. That's why the game is probably so popular and so successful.
That's understandable.
Because it is the farthest thing from static that you can get.
It's just, the game is naturally like toxic in the sense that, like, it's a team game. You're relied on other people, and same with the enemy team. You're relied on how well they're playing or worse they're playing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But there's so many factors and variables in the game that it's just, it can be
I
so
think
difficult.
The toxicity stems just from the competitive nature.
Yeah.
Like, a huge majority of the player base plays that game because of the competition that it breeds and because of the nature of the game. The game became popular because it popularized esports as a whole. Like, they are the ones that made esports a valid thing in general.
For the people who don't know what League of Legends is, it's basically a 5 versus 5. So it's 5 people on one team versus 5 people, and their sole objective is to destroy the enemy team's base. Each team has a base, and that base is guarded by a set of, like turrets, defenses,
Yeah.
and it's split up into lanes, and each player goes into their certain lane. And basically, on how it's won is the team that blows up the enemy base wins. But generally, that's dictated by how well that team is playing. So the stronger the team is, it's easier for them to do it. The weaker, the harder it
And
is.
of course, it's also such a mechanical game.
Yeah.
Even when you're playing a non-mechanical champion, compared to other games, it is still a mechanical game,
Yeah.
relatively speaking. So every player, even though one player might be generally better than their opponent,
Mhm.
they might be playing a really bad game. Might be the worst game
Yeah.
of their life, and then
And you have to also
Too
factor
much.
in how many other players they're playing against and how many just random things that can happen.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, say
Like if
they
your
make
Postmates shows up halfway through the game, then
yeah,
pretty bad.
or say that there's just like you make a mistake, you click one wrong button.
Mhm.
In general settings that wouldn't matter, but in
When
the
you have
higher
a
and
5-minute
higher-
cooldown on something,
yeah, the higher and higher you get in terms of the ladder, like climbing up to be like a better player, you're gonna play against better players. So
A
when
way
you go
to-
up higher and higher, one tiny little mistake like that can literally cost you the
yeah,
game.
if you think, like, say you're watching like a college basketball game, or let's say like a high school basketball
Yeah,
game,
sure.
and a kid he's dribbling, he's like running down the court,
Mhm.
he accidentally loses the ball, literally
Yeah,
loses it,
sure.
and it goes out of bounds. Turn of possession or whatever the fuck it's called in basketball.
Mhm.
I'm not a sports guy. Anyways,
Yeah.
that you wouldn't give the kid too much shit for doing that in high school, right? Like,
Mhm.
at least I wouldn't.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a mistake.
now if you saw
Like junior varsity.
like someone in the NBA do that, that would be a highlight on every news.
Yeah,
like,
that guy would get roasted.
every sports
he
news,
would never
yeah.
get picked up by a team.
That's
or-
the difference that you're kind of looking at here. Like when you're looking at your standard player versus your professional player, you're getting as close to perfect as a human being can get. And
Yeah.
the higher you get, the closer you get to that standard, the less mistakes are allowed.
Yeah, and those few mistakes that are gone through, those are highlighted. Like those are
Yeah.
those are exonerated. Those are the peak, Like that's whoops, that's a big whoopsie. That's a big oopsie daisy.
Yeah.
Like the reason why League is so competitive and why people get so toxic and mad about the game is because it's generally like a 35 to 45 minute like game.
Mm-hmm.
Each game lasts around 35 to 45 minutes. So it's a big time dump. You're not going to go into a game if you took two different games, for example, right? League of Legends and a random game. Say the random game lasts 5 minutes and League of Legends lasts 35 minutes on average. You're not going to get mad if you lose a 5-minute game, but you're going to get a little upset if you lose a 35-minute game,
Mm-hmm.
And that builds up. So generally, most people who play League on average play more than one game. So you're going to play 2 to 3 games on average a day. If you lose 2 to 3 games a day, that's a big chunk of your day just wasted on
Oh, yeah.
losses. And
Even one
losses,
game.
Yeah.
Even one game. That's
Yeah.
a 20th of your day,
Yeah.
and 8 of those 20ths are spent
Losses
asleep. So
they take a toll on you. They affect you for the rest of the games throughout the day, and it's just it sucks. Imagine like putting it in a job's perspective. For the majority of people, League isn't a job or video games aren't jobs. But say for example, your job depended on your how well you did. Say for example, you have to print 20 papers. I don't know, that's a kind of a shitty job. But say you print up to 19 papers, and on the 19th paper you print, it's dog shit. It comes out bad. You won't get paid for the for the other 18 papers you printed, and you pretty
Mhm.
much printed up to 20 almost, but you won't get paid just because you printed up to 18 and then you got to the 19th and it was bad. So it doesn't matter how well you do any time between 1 minute and 34 minutes, but that like 35th minute, if you lose the game, it's all over. It doesn't matter. Yeah, good players generally will recognize things that happen throughout the game and learn from that. Those are the people who climb up and get better generally. But for the most part, it feels bad to lose. Nobody likes to lose.
Not only that, but again, like to touch on the competitive aspects of the game. There's a lot of not only competition, but You can make a career off this game easily. You can easily make a career off of playing League of Legends, either being a streamer or a professional player. There's absurd amounts of money to make, and I think a good portion of the player base plays this game for two overarching reasons. One, they like video games, and the video game is a good one. Like it's a fun game to play, generally speaking. And two, you can literally be set for life if you become like part of the top echelon of the player base.
Yeah.
And it's definitely possible. You put in the time, any one person, as long as you are not stunted in some mental area, you will be able to get to that top echelon. It just depends on how much work you put in.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think people get so aggravated, because they see every loss as being pulled farther away from that goal.
I understand that. And what makes it worse is, like we said earlier, it's a team game. So you're playing with 4 other people on a team.
Yeah.
And just because you played perfectly doesn't mean that you're going to win the game. That's the worst part. That's the hardest part to grasp.
I don't like that excuse, though, because there's nothing in life that is completely dependent on what you... I'm sorry. Everything in your life is completely dependent on what you do. You're the only constant in every aspect of your life. Everything else is variable. Everything else is not necessarily random, but something that is out of your control. And that includes games of League of Legends. So you should never focus on that aspect of the game.
Yeah,
in my
and
opinion.
that's what I'm saying. That those people who dwell on those like types of losses,
yeah,
they're the ones who don't grow necessarily.
Yeah.
That's why even when I was at my best and I would play with my friends and we would lose, I wouldn't get too mad about it. The only times I would get actually mad is when, somebody challenged me, like in our friend group, and they said that I did something wrong, which, to be honest, was rare. But when it did happen, I shut it down immediately, and I said that in my brain, this is illogical. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter what they're saying. It doesn't apply to me, you know? I'm at a higher level, so it doesn't matter. But obviously, that's not a conducive way of seeing things. You're not going to grow from that. You're not going to learn from that. It doesn't matter. So I've obviously learned, like, even like League has a ranking system, so it goes from the way that they rank the things.
Think of it as
the
like,
levels are.
Think of it as 6 to 1. 1 being the top, 6 being
1 being the top, 6 being the lowest.
1 being the top 200.
Yeah.
Out of billions.
If I was a 2, if I was near 1, if I was a 2, near the highest, and a player who was like a 5 or 6.
Let's be more specific there. Think there's billions of people. There are literally billions of players. There's 80 billion to be specific, I think.
80 billion.
80 billion accounts. I'm sorry, not people. But there's 80 billion accounts in this cycle of like play. The top 200 are considered in that first rank. The next 3 to 500 are considered in the second. And then it gets the lower you get, the more people fit into that rank. So I think 6, you've got fucking 30 billion. 5, you got 20, so on and so forth until you get to 1, which is literally only 200 people. That's a huge, huge disparity.
Yeah. During, I would say 2 or 3 years ago, I think 2 years ago, I was ranked 450 or something in North America. So I guess, I would put it at like 2.
And again, that is out of billions of accounts.
Yeah, that's like a lot of fucking people. And so I considered myself pretty high. But if somebody, say if I was at a 2 and somebody who was like at a 5 or a 6, and if they started challenging me and arguing with me, back then I would just disregard it. It wouldn't matter. Yeah, I would probably listen to them just because they're my friend. But realistically, I would just listen to it as respect. I wouldn't take any of their, I guess, criticisms into consideration. But now, looking back at it, I did take their criticisms into realization. Like, depending on what they said, obviously, I would look at it from an objective standpoint. I wouldn't look at it as subjectively. Like, subjectively, I would say, okay, I'm a better player, so I don't need to listen to them. But objectively, I would think, like, okay, they have something to say. They're a human being. I'm going to take their opinion into consideration. You know? So I've learned from that fact, like, I need to, even if it means like, okay, just because I'm gonna listen to this person who's significantly lower level than me, it won't guarantee me raising up into that like tier 1 level. It'll just help me grow as a person overall, you know. Not necessarily in the game. The game in itself, League of Legends, and just like playing competitive online games, it's helped me grow as a person. I
agree. And people might say, "Oh, it's childish or dumb or whatever," but it's not so much because it's the game. It's just the becoming one of the top people in anything. It is a similar. You have a similar mindset for most things, right? You want to be the best basketball player in the world. You focus on what you can improve, right? And it's just kind of, it's a good mindset to have in general.
Yeah, I agree.
So, you know, when that is the mindset being broadcasted by the top players in this game, and most people learn how to play this game by watching other players, like the top players, you know, play it, right? They watch the streams, they watch the YouTube videos, they learn that's probably the most common way to learn how to play. Learn from the best, you know, that's how it always is. And that is the mindset that is generally broadcasted by these people. It's focus on what you can improve, be the best player that you can be, and you will climb. And that is a good mindset to have in any sense, in my opinion. Yeah. So
when I was learning how to play the game initially, I was like considered probably like the tier 6 type of person. And I was playing, I like oriented myself, not just because he was at such a high level, like he was around tier 2, tier 1, also tier 2. And I was tier 6, but I didn't orient and play with him just because he was that tier, but he was also my friend, you know, and he liked me. We liked each other. It was like a mutual thing. But I made sure, like, if I played with him, I would get better, you know? Like, you surround yourself with people who are successful. That's just life in general, you know? Referring back to our previous topic, competition, if you surround yourself with people who you're not actively seeking competition with, but like it's just naturally gonna happen, you know, like you're going to compete with somebody, it's going to help you improve, you're going to grow as a person in general.
Agreed.
That
is a lot of fucking League of Legends talk.
Yeah, we talked about that for a while. We haven't talked about League in a while.
Well, we still have 20 minutes to kill.
You ever fall asleep while driving?
No, I don't think I can, honestly. When I'm behind the wheel, like I've been sleep deprived. I've been more. I feel like
you've never felt a little drowsy.
I've been tired. I've never felt capable of actually falling asleep behind the wheel, and I have been in states where I think some people might have. You know, like I hear about. Like I've hung out with people for 24 hours straight. They drive home and they say I literally fell asleep at the wheel. That's happened, and I drove that same night and I wasn't even close. I literally don't think I possibly could. I'm too focused.
That's crazy because I've felt that feeling.
No, that's if I'm awake for 3 days straight without a wink of fucking sleep, I'm sure put me on a highway where there are no other cars, maybe I would fall asleep.
I'm not saying that you're not capable of doing it. I feel like everybody's capable, but you've just never experienced it.
I've never even come close. You're saying.
But
I will be dead tired. I will.
From what I'm saying, it's fucking terrifying.
I believe it. I think
it's
one of
the worst things I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Yeah. See, and I think I'm worried about that before it happens, which is why it doesn't happen, right?
You're preemptive, but some situations you just can't avoid it. Like, say for example, you just have to go somewhere. You have no choice.
There's always a choice.
Yeah, you always have a choice. Yeah, you can fall asleep. You can pull over on the side of the road and take a nap, but there are some situations where
you take the chance.
You take the chance, and it's just fucking horrible. It's one of the most I wouldn't say nerve-wracking. I guess it's nerve-wracking, but it's just like like you said, you can avoid the situation.
It's anxious.
I wouldn't even say anxious. It's just like I don't know how to describe it. It's you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. You cannot fall asleep while you're driving. That is an absolute rule. You need to be focused. You need to be paying attention. It's your life on the line, other people's lives on the line.
So imagine you're at a sleepover with your buddies, right? And everyone else is still playing video games, but you're in the sleeping bag. You're trying not to sleep. You're trying not to sleep.
Well, first of all, why are you in the fucking sleeping bag?
And then you're like you're dozing off, and then all your friends are like, are you asleep yet? And you're like, no. So it's like that, but life or death at the same time.
Yeah, but like your friends they know the moment you fall asleep, they're gonna fucking prank you, write Sharpie shit on your face,
Yeah.
and then stick shit in your asshole.
And that never happened to me, but sure.
But instead of getting Sharpie on your face and sticking shit in your asshole, you just get fucking killed in a car accident and people die.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to think about it.
Falling asleep while driving
Yeah.
is horrifying.
I
It's
believe it.
Fucking terrible. I don't know. I think in my whole lifetime, I've gotten drowsy while sleeping or while driving. I'd say twice, maybe 3 times, but it's one of the worst feelings I've ever had. And it was, I understand, like, you can set yourself up, you can prime yourself to not fall asleep. You can say, okay, I'm tired, I'm not going to drive. But there are situations where say you're on a long drive or you're on a 2-hour, 3-hour road trip or whatever, and you have no choice. Like you're in a situation where there's no prior planning. You're on the road halfway through and you get tired. Yeah, you can pull over, but it's just you're in a situation where you can't. That you're in traffic. Have you ever gotten tired fucking in traffic? Traffic's one of the most boring, like, shittiest things to be put in life is traffic. It's a fucking sick joke. Like, you can't move, you're not moving, but
I mean,
you need
at
to
first,
stay in
yeah. Usually, with traffic at least, unless I have to be somewhere at a specific time and like work or something like that, right? Usually, the frustration's there initially, but then I realized, like, it's not that important. I can be 20, 30 minutes late. It's not a huge
as
fucking
opposed
deal.
to dying.
Just relax, Usually I can get over road rage pretty easily. I'm probably one of the few, but I don't mind being stuck behind someone for a little bit. Once there's always that initial frustration, but I get over it pretty quickly, I'd say. Because it's irrational. It really is.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Wow, I'm going at fucking 40 miles per hour instead of 50. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that's an exaggeration.
300 years ago, people couldn't even break 40 miles per hour.
I'm talking about, like, bumper to bumper, you're stopping.
I know.
Traffic.
I'm just saying, like, road rage in general, it can always...
No, I totally understand what you're saying, and that's a very logical way of thinking about it. But in this situation, a lot of people aren't thinking about that.
Not.
And especially a lot of irrational people that aren't logical, who aren't thinking out the I guess repercussions of doing something stupid, like like, oh yeah, okay, I'm getting fucking mad, I'm gonna drive really fast because I'm 10 minutes late to work, or I'm going to be late to work, and you get into a fucking car accident, or you get pulled over by the cops.
Yeah,
that is another
that's what always
30 to 40 minutes late, and you're gonna get some type of punishment on top of that. Like, you have to pay your insurance, or you're gonna get a fucking
I'm
ticket.
Always going like 5 to 10 over, but I won't do more than that.
Same.
At that point you're just asking to get a ticket. Eventually, like, I've had really good luck where I've only ever gotten one ticket. None of them were speeding tickets. But if I'm late to work, usually I'm a very punctual person in general, so it's rare when that happens. When it does, that's because I'm currently working at a place where it is literally a den of chaos, and it does not matter if I'm 4 minutes late.
A den of chaos.
It literally does not matter.
I see.
Which was 2 years in my last employment. But I refuse to go more than like 9 over specifically, because there's a good chance if you do get pulled over, you're going to be even more late.
Yeah,
but not only that, the next 3 shifts of your employment are going straight to that ticket. So
yeah, of course,
you
have to think about the repercussions, later on. And just like I said, a lot of people aren't thinking about that. They're not thinking about the future or repercussions like that.
Yeah,
they're just thinking about in the moment. This is annoying. This is pissing me off. How can I get out of this?
Yeah. Now, what does annoy me is when, like, people speed up, get in front of you, and then slow back down. That
cut
kills
you off,
me.
and then
that kills me. That is
down.
tough to get over, because that's not logical. It's like, why? Now, if you have to turn left here and you got in front of me,
if you need to exit,
okay,
if you need
fine.
to make an exit,
and I will generally think that's why they did that. But then if I'm behind them for the next 4 stoplights, I get a little upset.
Yeah, because it's just like, you really need to be fucking 5 feet in front of me.
There is no one else on this road.
You need to
It's
be
a
5 feet
one-way
ahead.
street. It's like,
He's just showing you how big his dick is, huh?
Yeah, I think that does happen a lot too. When you drive,
People show you how big their dick is compared to yours.
People, I truly do think that like people see certain types of people see cars, like mine and cars like yours, and they think, oh,
you need
wow.
a one up.
Yeah. So not even so much that, but like, wow, this guy's got. He probably thinks he's so cool because of his car.
Yeah.
And so they take
He's got a coupe, dude.
So they take their
Dude,
Honda
he's got
Civic.
a 2-door, dude.
They take their automatic Honda Civic and they redline their way right up in front of you. Like they pedal to the metal. They go from 40 to 60 in about 3 seconds.
Pop that VTEC.
And they gotta get in front of you. Like I don't. People do it. I swear. It's not in my head. I swear that shit happens. It's usually younger guys.
You ever race?
No.
Have you ever raced?
No,
in your
I
life?
refuse to. When I first got my car, I would. There was never anything like serious. It was never like fucking.
Yeah.
I'm next to some dude's Evo and we go 110 down Fred
yeah.
Waring. But it's been to the point where I'll go like stoplight to stoplight. With
I've
people.
been belligerent
But
with people.
Since I got my ticket, I refuse to go overnight.
Yeah, no, I understand. I've gotten speeding tickets before, but like,
I would love to go to the tracks.
I've been belligerent with people, like on the streets.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, fair. I guess I was asking for it. Is fucking, you know, typical scenario. Rich dad gives son sports car for first car. Obviously, like the fucking kid. You know, I didn't understand this, like the weight of the situation. I didn't take care of the car. I didn't give a shit. You know, I had a sports car.
I don't know. I think your
as
car
my
was
first car.
You're talking about your Infinity?
Yeah.
I think it was well taken care of.
Not as much as it could have been. And I took it for granted for sure. But what I'm saying is I was a fucking spoiled ass kid. I had a nice car when I was for my first car. And obviously the first thing I'm going to do is fucking race people. It's not like I raced every single person, but if I was challenged, I was not going to say no.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous.
It's almost always
2
like
to 3 times a week with that car.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never had it that bad.
I would pull up to a stoplight and some fucking asshole in a Mustang or some type of coupe.
Yeah, I never
like
get that.
a Corvette
I
would just
never get that.
rev on.
It is always a Honda Civic. Every time. There was once.
I've had a few Honda
There
Civics.
was an Infinity once.
Yeah.
But I was literally I was turning into my complex.
Yeah.
So I didn't even fucking bother. And I think at that point I was probably just not going to race anyways because it's just not worth it, dude.
No, it's definitely not. But, you know, as a fucking like 17-year-old
yeah, I can
who
see
gets
that,
a car
100%,
like that, you're not thinking, okay? You don't have a brain yet.
Yeah.
It hasn't developed.
Yeah.
But so you're thinking like, okay, this fucking asshole's racing me. I remember, I don't think I ever lost a race. You know, they were like stoplight to stoplight races, but I would always like win.
I lost one. That was with a buddy actually, a buddy that you know.
Yeah.
I had a guy in my passenger seat, and he had a fat fucking bottle of smart water in the cup holder, and my cup holders are not in the best spot, right? So I know you don't drive manual, but when you go down to third, it's when you think of the shift box, right? It's
south.
down.
It'll hit
it's
down.
south and dead center, right?
Oh shit.
My cup holder's right there, so I'm going to third. I'm in front of my buddy. I'm going down to third.
You hit the
and
bottle.
I hit the bottle, and when I let go of the shift knob, it bounces back to neutral. So I just fucking slow down instantly lose
That's
all
rough.
acceleration.
Yeah, that's rough.
But yeah, that's just kind of what happens. Like for both of our cars, we have the same car. We both have Genesis coupes. He has the 6-cylinder, 3.8 liter engine
3.8.
automatic. I have the 2.0 liter 4-cylinder turboed engine manual. Both of our cars, for the price, is probably the best you could possibly get for horsepower.
Yeah,
straight from the drivetrain horsepower.
Off the shelf.
So the thing now, so at that point, what comes into effect is whether or not you can drive the car properly. And 9 times out of 10, that's what it comes down to, honestly. No matter how good your car is, it usually comes down to how well you can drive.
I wouldn't say it's a very difficult car to drive either.
No, but for manual cars.
Yeah.
For manual cars, if you're not shifting properly, there's a lot of intricacies to it.
Yeah.
You need to know like where your car curves out when it comes to RPM to performance.
I feel like that's just any manual car in general.
Yeah, but they're all different is my point. You need to look like if you haven't driven it for a while and you can't just into it, like where those curves are, you need to look up the graph. You need to know like, oh, I start to drop off acceleration around the 4,000 RPM mark, that's when I need to shift up.
I remember this one street race I won really fucking hard,
Mhm.
and we pulled up to the stoplight. This fucking douchebag, I want to say he was in a Mustang or something, and he had his girl in the side,
Mhm.
on the passenger seat. I was a dumbass, like 18-year-old kid, and I was in my Infiniti G35, fully. I don't even think it was stock. See, that's how little I gave a shit about cars. My dad just fucking pimped it out. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But I just shit on him. Like, it wasn't even close. When we pull up to the stoplight that we were supposed to stop at next, he stopped, I want to say 2 to 3 cars behind me.
Yeah.
And there's nobody in front of him. He just didn't even want to pull up next to me.
Oh,
it was
God,
that,
that's admitting defeat.
It was that
That's admitting
embarrassing.
defeat.
And I knew that his girl was with him because I saw him like at the previous stoplight when we, like, I guess our starting line.
What you do there is you get in front of him after that and you go 20 miles per hour. That's what you do.
No, but that was one of the funnest things like I had ever gone with. I remember there was one really like scary race I had with this guy. It was down I think it was down Washington. It is a very policed area during the daytime when I know that a lot of, cops are around, doing their speed guns, just checking for speed. And this guy he had a fucking beanie on. All I remember was he was the guy from he looked like the guy from Breaking Bad with the beanie on, the younger kid.
Yeah.
Aaron or whatever.
Aaron, whatever. Yeah.
Aaron Paul or whatever.
It's not, I don't think it's that.
I don't know. But he looked like him, and he had like a souped up type of like Subaru
the guy that says
or
bitch
something.
all the
Yeah,
time.
the guy who says bitch all the time.
Yeah.
He looked like him.
Yeah.
And we were going fucking fast. I forgot, like, I want to say like 70, 75 down like a 50 mile an hour like speed limit place. So we were definitely way above the speed limit. Like, we would have gone
not that fast.
I understand that, but like we were both considerate of our environment for the place that we were at. This was way too fast. I had been pulled over for that same area for going for 65. So that's a little like fucking crazy.
Yeah. 25
So
over is pretty big.
25 over is like a pretty big deal.
But usually if you're going okay, yeah, continue.
What I was saying is like there are cars near us, so we're like dodging cars and shit. So it's like it's getting bad.
You're literally Fast and Furious right now.
It was at a point, it was like just a chicken race. Like, who's going to slow down first?
Yeah.
And that's the loser. And he slowed down first. But I'm not going to say like I'm a fucking Big Dick Jones or whatever. Like, I realized I'm just a stupid kid. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know the repercussions because I didn't get pulled over right there that day. But that was really dumb,
Yeah.
That guy realized, like, okay, I'm going to make a big fucking mistake trying to race some asshole, and that's not worth it. So he stopped first.
Yeah,
and then I thought in my fucking small brain, like, oh, I won, good shit.
I think people just grow out of that, like,
no, yeah,
how
obviously.
often do you see 40-year-old man with a fucking built up, like, WRX, aftermarket shit all over the place, 600 horsepower beast? You see the guy driving a Beamer or something stock that's still gonna beat the shit out of that fucking built up rally car, I don't know. Street racing it's fun initially. I think it is exhilarating, but it's just dumb. I think it is something that you just grow out of.
To be honest,
eventually.
like, if you're buying cars like that, like coupes or just fast cars, what's the point? Like,
it is fun.
That was my thought process. Like, realistically, I was never like a dumb kid.
It is fun working on your car, getting aftermarket parts, making it, customizing it, making it your own. That is fun.
Even if you didn't work on it, say it was just stock, like a good car, like you spent money regardless. You spend money on a good car. You're going to think, like, why am I not using it? Why am I just using it to go from point A to point B? Why don't I do something fun with it? Like, go a little fast. And then you get fucking hit with, like, a speeding ticket or whatever. I understand that there are rules of the road, Like, everybody who has a driver's license has to go through driving school or whatever. There are obvious rules for safety, people's safety around you, other people who are driving, people who aren't driving. It doesn't matter. Like, there are other factors, but it's just like, there's a reason why you buy a car like that. It's to do something that other cars can't do. So,
well, sure. I mean,
yeah, and then
there's
people have that
be...
argument, like, you go to the fucking racetrack or whatever, and you need to take your car there. But it's like, what if you don't want to do that?
That's what I would like to do. I would like to go to the track eventually. Just to really, because it's tough to push the boundaries of your driving skills on the street is, unless you want to risk harming yourself, others, and or getting a ticket.
Yeah, sucks.
There's only so much you can do as well, unless you're literally going out to practice, in which case, you know, you find a deserted lot somewhere. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, I got my car because the reasons were multifaceted, but the main reason was because I had went through 2 lemons immediately before. My first 2 cars were essentially lemons, and I wanted to get a car that I could rely on. I wanted to get a car I could rely on, and I also wanted a car I could be proud of. I wanted a car that stood out. I'm honestly kind of ashamed to say that, because I'm usually the type of person who says fuck what other people think and all that. And even saying that, I did get this car almost like slightly because I wanted to show off a bit.
Yeah.
But also, it was a majority of the reasoning behind it was because I wanted a car that I would be proud of for myself, not for other people. But there was a bit of the pride involved with having a nice car, you know, blah blah blah, all that shit. But you know, it's just nice to have a car you can be proud of.
Yeah.
It's just like everyone wants to get a house they can show off to their friends, right? Everyone wants a house that they can make their own, they can perfect it, have it exactly how they want. I wanted a car that wasn't like every other car on the road. That it was that simple for me.
Yeah, I totally
understand.
And I
found this car, and it was a great fucking deal. It was literally the same price as my 2007 Camry. Of course, I'm gonna get it. Like, and I definitely don't regret it.
No, I totally understand with you. Be proud of your car. And I understand with you in the sense that, like, you don't necessarily want to show off, but you want to be proud of it. Like, when I take a girl out on a date or whatever, and I pull up in my car, I like the fact that, like, I feel proud about it. I don't, it's not to the point where I'm showing off, like, what I have. It's just, you know, I'm proud of what I have, you know? You want to be able to pull up in a car that you're proud of. I take care of it. I clean the interior of my car is fucking spotless.
Yeah, I think we talked about it before, but I'm anal about interior over exterior. I'd prefer the
exterior. Obviously, like, I can be a little lazy about it. I'll wait till it's a little fucking dirty to get it washed or like wash it myself. But it's just like, generally, my interior is always fucking spotless.
I was anal as shit about it when I had the opportunity to wash it myself, but it kills me to have to go and spend money to do something that I can easily do better myself for free at home. Other than, I mean, cost of supplies and all that, but soap and fucking washcloths, it's not microfiber cloths. You can get like fucking 1,000 of them for $5 at Costco. So, but I can't at my apartment complex. I can't unless I want to go with a goddamn spray bottle of water. I can't wash my own car.
Yeah.
So.
No, I understand. And, like, you know, depending on your circumstance, like, say, for example, there's this one day you realize you ran out of cleaning solution and you need to go get a car wash.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's any, like, harm in that, but, like, I think the majority of it comes from cleaning your interior. With the fucking environment, there are so many outside factors. A fucking sandstorm, like, it could just start raining.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. There are so many factors that could just lead to your car getting dirty on the exterior.
Yeah.
But your interior, that's a no excuse.
Well, it depends on how often you have your windows down.
Okay.
What the
fuck is gonna happen if you have your windows down? Like, what, a little dust. Yeah, but, like, you can wipe that down easily.
Exactly. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, there's so many fucking factors. If there are people with fucking French fries and shit in their car, plastic wrappers, fucking soda cans, like, I don't know, bullshit, laundry, who the fuck does that, dude? That's gross.
That I try not to be too judgmental of, because some people do take their laundry to and from, you know?
I can understand the people who actually hang their clothing on the hanging things, you know? Like, if they're like a
but like I've gone into the back of someone's car and they had like a basket of laundry that was being done, you know, and they were transiting it.
Those are fine, like, acceptable scenarios. What I'm saying is, like, they've got fucking random socks, just random clothes.
That's different.
Fucking utensils, just sporks, forks, spoons, plates.
Yeah.
Just random bullshit in their car. Why? Why do you have that? That is so. It doesn't like, in my thought process, I would think, like, okay, if I were to put myself in a situation where I didn't have the luxuries I had a job that paid me very little, and I had a car that was very cheap. Like, it was like a cheap little sedan. even if I had all of those things, I would still make the most of it.
Oh,
And I feel like
absolutely.
that's the thing. Like I think we talked about it earlier. Like if we were homeless, like we'd have a plan, like
Mhm.
what we were gonna do. But
I think that in and of itself is kind of entitled because we know we have been able to be around some of the amenities that would allow us to carry out those plans, right?
understandable. But like that entitlement, we've still learned from that
Mm.
knowledge. We've retained that knowledge, is what I mean. Like
Yeah.
we're still holding that to some form of importance.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was in that type of situation, even if I had some beat up piece of shit car, the interior and exterior would look as best as it literally could.
Yeah.
There's no way that I would have it be any worse than it could
Yeah,
be.
like it
just
the
because
reason
it's
it blows-
representing myself, you know?
Not only that, the reason it blows my mind is a car is 9 times out of 10, unless you're a homeowner, the most expensive possession you have.
Yeah.
Fucking take care of it. Like,
Mhm.
why would you not? You're spending $20,000 on this thing over the course of however many years.
Yeah.
Why would you not make
20
sure that
like-
it is perfect?
Like, yeah.
That is literally
You're spending thousands of dollars on something like that, whereas people take care of possessions who are like a couple $100s. And it's all just
Yeah,
relative.
you refuse to have a phone without a fucking $100 phone case, which is a tenth of the cost of the
Yeah.
phone itself.
Uh-huh.
Why would you not take care of your $20,000 car?
Yeah.
Batters my mind. I don't get it.
You never understand. But, you know, just like I said, like with me, like I was like a spoiled kid. I was given my first car, you know, and I understand. In hindsight, obviously, I would take care of the shit out of that car and I would treat it perfectly. It's not that I
But
treated
you were
it.
younger then.
I know, and even when I was younger, it's not that I treated it poorly. I just didn't treat it as well as I could have.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if I went back, I could have treated it really well and had a really nice car. But I'm not. I love the car I have right now. I treat it as well as I can. I could treat it a little better. You know, I could, I guess, pay for like a monthly service to get. Like,
I don't suggest that.
I don't know, just something to just.
Wash it when it needs to be washed. Get it waxed during the summer because of the sun. Other than that, like,
Besides washing, just park it. Like have a situation. My garages are filled, so
Mhm.
I can't park it in the garage. But like, I don't know, invest in some type of fucking tent situation. It might look like
no,
an
you don't even need to do that.
abomination
Just
in front of my car.
do what you do with the fucking the sun visor. Like,
That's still not enough.
The
I feel like
windshield
I need
cover.
to cover my car because the sun is so
oh,
bad over
okay,
here.
yeah. If you want to, honestly, wax is enough. If you wax your car monthly, you're fine.
It's not just
But
it's
if
not
you're
just
worried
the
about
car
that-
itself. It's like the windshield wipers.
Hmm.
Those get destroyed over the summer because of the like
You-
the rubber.
They have
They
summer.
get destroyed.
They have summer like ready windshield wipers. Whatever. I haven't changed the windshield wipers on my car since I bought it over a year and a half ago, and they still work perfectly.
I understand. Mine.
I
work.
definitely
It's just-
agree. Like, but in that case, if you're worried about that, just get an actual car cover. It's like $15.
I have a car cover, but it's for my old car, and
Mm.
it doesn't fit perfectly on my car. And yeah, I need to get like a nicer car cover that fits my car specifically.
Just get a generic one though, because they're way cheaper. You don't have to get the one actually from your dealership for your car, because those are
Yeah,
generally more expensive.
but I like these little things. Like I want to say it's embarrassing, but I want to say like the last 2 months, like 2 months ago, that's when I started using the windshield
I was gonna say
The
I'd never
wind-
seen you use it
the-
until today.
screen visors, the things that protect it from the sun that
Yeah.
like reflect the heat. After like the first fucking few days I started using it, oh my god, it made such a fucking
Oh, yeah.
difference. Just getting in my car, it was maybe 10 to 15 degrees cooler,
Yeah.
maybe 20
Oh,
degrees
it's
cooler.
more than that.
Yeah,
See,
it's
I'm
like
lucky.
ridiculously
I
cool.
get shaded. I have covered parking at my
Mhm.
apartment complex, so I don't have to worry about it too often. But I was house sitting for a week or so, right? I had to
Mhm.
park in the driveway there. That driveway is, no matter at any point during the day, it is always in the sun. So I'd get in the car, and it was unbearable. Like, for those who don't know, we get 120-degree weather here during the
Yeah.
summer very frequently.
Yeah.
120 degrees is a lot. And when it's 120 outside, it's 140 in your car. It's
Oh yeah.
fucking
Especially if you have a
terrible.
black car or dark car
Yeah.
and it's leather interior, like it's fucking rough.
Yeah. Leather is cool and all. Like, you can piss on the seat and get it off real
Oh,
easy,
yeah.
but it's
you can
hot.
come on the seat
It's
too.
hot as shit.